My name is Sahar Graham and I am Programme Leader and Senior Lecturer on the BA Honours Events Management degree programme. We have a very active Twitter account which is at events@MMU, and the reason why we use Twitter is because we have a lot of students. We have about 550 students and we have students out on placement. We have a lot of students and we find that Twitter is a great way to create what we like to call a community. It's an easy way for us to stay in contact with our students and for our students to stay in contact with us. Twitter is very easy to use, so it does mean that with Twitter our messages can be very focused, they can be very much to the point, and as a result of them being short and snappy, they're more likely to be read. So it's a great way to get out additional information. For example, one of the big ethos of our course is volunteering. It's a really big part of what we do in events management. And we send the opportunities out through Moodle in quite a lot of detail in terms of what the student needs to do. However, we send out a short message on Twitter saying, great volunteering opportunity, just been released, have a look on Moodle for further details. So it allows us to give information to our students easily, but it also allows us to share industry news, and Twitter has been well used for marketing. There's a lot going on within the events industry in terms of articles, campaigns, news, jobs, all to do with the events industry. And we can find that we're very targeted in who we follow, and it just means that when we have interesting articles that relate to our students and relate to the course that we're teaching, we can simply retweet those. I personally have tried to incorporate social media in my teaching. I feel that it makes me more accessible and therefore makes my teaching more accessible. One of the things that I do quite proactively is to follow up a lecture or seminar by having tweeted relevant articles. So one of the units that I teach at level 6 is called Leadership Management and Entrepreneurship. And I'll quite frequently after lectures find articles that are relevant in the news and I will tweet them. And what's great about that is that it almost extends learning outside of the classroom. It also makes quite dry management theory actually seem more real, because they're reading about, we've covered theoretical frameworks in class, but now they're reading about the reality of that in an article that's been tweeted. And it extends learning, it engages the students, it helps their understanding as well. And at the same time, find that they've now kind of gone off their own back and started finding articles to tweet back to me as well, which shows that they have engaged in the whole process as well. So from that point of view, that short little second it takes me to find something and to retweet it has a multiplied effect in terms of learning and teaching in very much a positive way. It definitely creates a community. We have a lot of students, as I said earlier. We've got about 550 and we've got students out on placement as well. And there was a point where it was quite feasible to be in your first year and get through to your final year and not have spoken to people on the same course as you, because we're a big course. So, and one of the things that Twitter has allowed us to do is through the engagement of students tweeting what they're doing and telling us, we retweet a lot of what our students tweet. We put students in contact. To give you an example, when the A-level results came out, we sent out a tweet, welcome to MMU, if you've got your A-level results, you've got your points, you're coming to study events with us. Tell us if you've got in, tell us you've got in. With the hashtag, we will put you in contact. And what we did was we got loads of freshers then tweeting us saying, I'm in. And then I simply just contacted people together on Twitter saying, here's Sam, nice to meet you, meet Molly, she's also new as well, put the Twitter addresses together. And so what it meant was that very simple action, which didn't take me very long at all, that we had freshers from all around the country and indeed from all around the world who were from that simple moment able to actually speak to each other even before they'd landed in Manchester and gone through induction. So, and the idea was behind the hashtag was, I think, don't be shy. And we ran this campaign where we wanted everybody to know at least one other person. With our returning students, we have this system where our first years will help their second years volunteering at events. We put all that through Twitter. We have our second years who have to who are helping our first years with some of the coursework elements that go with that. We're having some of our placement students that are talking and just tweeting stuff about their placement experiences, which we can then share. We've got one of the other campaigns that we ran, for instance, was if you were your level 4 self, what advice would you give yourself now? We did that with second years. And we had second years tweeting saying, learn how to Harvard reference, don't spend all your loan money. But it just creates that community and it allows them to talk to each other and get to know each other. From that point of view, you know, we always see a little bit of mentoring going on as well, very informally between certain levels and between certain students. When I speak to a lot of people about using Twitter, a lot of people are scared. And they're scared because they don't know what to tweet. The fact that when they tweet, it is out there on cyberspace for everybody to see. And I think really just starting off very basic and starting off by perhaps retweeting official university bodies like the Students' Union and the university's official Twitter feed. Retweeting stories that relate to your area of practice and your industry. And there is lots of academic research that has been done around how Twitter's been used for student engagement, but it's a phenomenal way just to make us as academic staff more accessible to our students and to communicate and speak to large volumes of students.
Thanks for watching this Good Practice Exchange film. You can find loads more teaching ideas on our website. Visit celt.mmu.ac.uk/good_practice.